Hello, kindred spirits. Welcome to the Magical Mystical Divinations podcast. I'm your host, Southern Mystic Tama P, creator of mysticdivinations.com. That's mystic with a K, by the way. I invite you into my sacred space located in the heart of East Tennessee, where I will discuss inner magic, mystical insight, astrology, and most importantly, how to use divination to enhance your daily life. Grab your favorite drink and hang out with me for a spell as we connect on a higher level. In this season, we will be discussing mysticism. After all, my website is Mystic Divinations. My podcast is called Magical Mystical Divinations, and we already discussed adding magic to our lives in Season 2. You are here, so you must have some inkling that you have mystical qualities. I mean, if you foster unconventional beliefs and self-awareness, and you're open-minded and often observing your own mental and emotional processes, you are already exhibiting personality traits of being a mystical person. I am a self-proclaimed mystic and have been for decades, so I felt compelled to look up some stuff about being a modern-day mystic. I immediately found an article titled 7 Signs You're a Modern-Day Mystic, but I will add more to these 7 signs, so stay tuned to the end. I realized many of my friends fit some or even most of the signs mentioned or in this episode of this podcast, and I wonder if they even realize it. So let's look at these 7 signs together. Number 1, you seek spiritual equality and sovereignty. The article, which I will give credit to towards the end, declares that mystics want to experience spirit directly for ourselves, and we want to know that we can trust our own intuition. So let me expand on that. Experiencing the spirit directly can involve various sensations and perceptions. Many individuals report experiencing physical sensations like tingling, buzzing, or a feeling of warmth or energy flowing through their body. These sensations are often associated with the activation or opening of chakras, or a general shift in energy. A common characteristic of spiritual experiences is a feeling of being connected to something larger than oneself, whether it's a higher power, nature, or other people. The second sign is that you care about our earth. Not only are we concerned about climate crisis and animal conservation, we form meaningful ways to connect with nature. We may even feel a spiritual urgency to bring awareness to or to protect our earth and its living inhabitants. We may exhibit this concern by reducing our environmental impact, or by offering habitats to protect our wildlife, conserving water, reducing waste, choosing sustainable products. Other actions that many mystics take support conservation efforts. You may find a lot of modern-day mystics advocating for wildlife-friendly policies. A third sign is that you are rebelling against old power dynamics, especially patriarchal and colonial ones. I am seeing this in high doses. I hear the calls to end oppression. I am very pleased as a middle-aged woman to see my generation and earlier generations challenging established norms. Even before me, my mother, who was born in 1930, didn't adhere to a male-dominant narrative, nor did she have a racist bone in her body. And she also upheld women's movements and would not allow any of her 5 offspring to put down women or anyone of a different race. I have always admired her for that because in her generation that wasn't always the case. But today's generations are providing platforms and opportunities for marginalized communities and helping give voices to the voiceless. They are recognizing that various forms of oppression, such as those based on gender, race, class, and sexuality, are interconnected and should be addressed together. Apologize that my phone notifications are going off in the background. Hopefully that will not continue. A fourth sign that you may be a modern-day mystic is that you are called to connect with your ancestry and ancestors. We are here because of our ancestors that survived challenging times, and we can benefit from the recognition and wisdom that we might find through ancestral work. I simply will never forget how I made a profound discovery in August of 2021 when my ancestry DNA results came in. It was such a momentous discovery in so many ways, and it changed my life then and there and for the remainder of my life. But now I can touch base with my ancestors spiritually, and that has added comfort and confidence to my spiritual journey. This also helped me to build a bridge to the past, fostering a sense of connection and understanding of my heritage. Many mystics gather and share stories from their family history that have been passed down through the generations, preserving family lore and traditions. This can help us to participate in cultural traditions that connect you to your ancestors' heritage, and also may allow you to visit ancestral lands and environments that shaped your ancestors' lives. A fifth sign is that you are participating in a psychedelic revival. Even though psychedelic research was basically shut down in the 1970s in an attempt to prevent us from cultivating our own direct spiritual connections, there has been a huge renewed interest as we reclaim our right to research and use psychedelics for healing connection, providing potential therapeutic uses of psychedelic substances, particularly in the context of mental health treatment. I am not talking about becoming a drug addict. I am speaking about guided therapy in safe, regulated spaces under the care of a medical team. It is a learning experience that elevates consciousness and makes profound contribution to personal development. Psychedelic experiences feature alterations in normal perception, such as visual distortions and a subjective loss of self-identity, which are sometimes interpreted as mystical experiences. But it has to be done safely and well thought out. Although psychedelic therapy isn't available where I live, a lot of the mystical groups I belong to have access to this type of therapy. The sixth sign that you may be a modern-day mystic is that you are re-engaging with Jungian thought, which means you find meaning in transpersonal realms and omens and symbolisms and mythologies and dreams. Mystics are acknowledging that the universe is always communicating with us if we will listen. Jung viewed the psyche of the totality of the human mind, encompassing conscious and unconscious thoughts, feelings, memories, and instincts. The conscious mind is the realm of our everyday awareness. The unconscious mind is divided into personal and collective and holds a vast reservoir of experiences, memories, and universal patterns, which contains repressed or forgotten experiences unique to each individual. Now, the seventh sign that you may be a modern-day mystic is that you are embracing animism. See, we are finally recognizing the need to shift out of human-centric worldviews and focus on appreciation of the inspirited nature of all things. Animism is the doctrine that every natural thing in the universe has a soul, and that all living things are spiritual beings. While many animistic belief systems acknowledge a creator or a higher God, they typically don't focus worship on that deity. Instead, animists primarily interact with the spirits of nature, ancestors, and other intermediaries believed to influence daily life. These spirits are often seen as more directly involved in the world than the high God, who may be seen as a distant or uninvolved God. Many animistic traditions believe in a supreme being who created the world, but this God is often seen as a remote and not actively involved in the day-to-day affairs. Many animists believe that spirits inhabit the natural world, including animals, plants, and inanimate objects, as well as the spirits of our ancestors. These spirits are believed to mediate between the high God and humans, and this aligns with how a lot of modern-day mystics believe. But there are so many more beliefs than just this. The article where I gathered the 7 signs came from a website called alchemessence.com, but I definitely added to the info that I gathered there. You can probably see why I call myself a modern-day mystic. Anyone who knows me knows that most of the signs fit me perfectly. And again, a lot of my friends fit the mold, even if they don't claim to be mystical. First, realize a mystic is a person who claims to attain or believes they can attain insight into mysteries transcending ordinary human knowledge through direct communication with the divine or God or a deity. It doesn't have to define them, or they don't have to wear any label at all. And you may not even view them as mystical, much less them viewing themselves as mystical. But mystics can be born with a predisposition to intuitiveness and openness to receiving communication with the divine, or they may be shaped by experiences and practices. These practices may involve meditation or prayer or spiritual encounters that lead to a profound sense of connection with the divine or the universe. Another sign or trait of mysticism is possessing a heightened sense of intuition or a greater capacity for introspection. The journey to becoming a mystic can take various forms. Some may find their path through religious traditions, personal experiences, or a combination of both. It is often an ongoing process of spiritual growth and exploration rather than a destination. Mystics often live compassionately in service to others and may serve as a mediator or minister between humanity and eternity. Mystics are often visionaries. Some common career paths for mystics include religious professions like priests, chaplains, and pastors, as well as roles that emphasize healing and well-being, such as healers, hypnotherapists, and life coaches. Other options include those with artistic expression, like musicians, painters, and writers, or those involved in service, such as nonprofit organizers and social workers. A lot of mystics are drawn to aromatherapy, acupuncture, and herbalism. A key aspect of mysticism involves letting go of ego and self-centeredness. Mystics are driven by a desire to understand the fundamental nature of reality and their place within it, and they are known for their humility, which can involve, and often does involve, accepting one's strengths and weaknesses. There is the misconception that mystics are hidden away in monasteries or live in remote mountainous areas. That's not entirely true. Once they've awakened to the divine and to their higher consciousness, and their consciousness has been united with the divine, the mystic sets out into the everyday world. Of course, some of the famous mystics include Buddha, Confucius, Joan of Arc, Nostradamus, and even Jesus Christ. But there are modern-day mystics living beside of us, walking among us, teaching us, guiding us, or simply living in solitude, silent but observant. As long as there is a human race, there will be mystics. Since mysticism is a path, the path culminates in a permanent, for all eternity, transformation of the soul. There are actually people, perhaps many, who are doing this and don't even realize they are doing it. But again, it's a journey, not a destination. I hope you are enjoying my podcasts and especially this episode. Feel free to join my Facebook group that you can find under Mystic Divinations, or I'm on Instagram, or visit my website, mysticdivinations.com. That's mystic with a K. Also, I encourage you to comment with your experiences. You can always reach me through Facebook or one of my many social platforms. If you want to comment anonymously, I can post that without putting your name, or you can use a nickname. But I do like sharing with others. I do like hearing from others. And I hope to continue to grow this podcast. There's been a lot going on in life lately, and I can't get to it as often as I would like to. I had hoped to do at least one every 10 days or so, and now it's becoming one a month or less. But I do try to get an episode out at least once or twice a month. Like I said, a lot's been going on. And my frequency of publishing will be dependent upon some of the things that are happening. But if you can send me some well wishes and blessings, I would love to do the same for you. I hope you have a wonderful day. This episode was recorded on Juneteenth, which is also my birthday. Juneteenth directly commemorates the end of slavery in the United States, a dark chapter in American history. It is a celebration of the resilience and strength of African Americans who endured slavery and continue to strive for freedom and equality. To me, Juneteenth is not only my birthday, but it provides a valuable opportunity to educate individuals about the history of slavery, the Civil War, and the ongoing struggle for racial justice. It encourages reflection on the past, present, and future of race relations in America. I would also like to take a moment just to mention that this episode also fell during the week of June 17th through the 23rd, which is a National Pollinator Week. It highlights the crucial role of pollinators like bees, butterflies, and birds in our ecosystem and our food supply. It is a time to raise awareness about the challenges pollinators face, which include habitat loss, pesticides, etc., and hopefully inspire action to protect them. The better we can make our world, the better it will be for those that come after us. This has been a Mystic Divinations podcast. I am your host, Tama P. Please like and subscribe, and I would love to hear from you, so feel free to comment. Also, be sure to visit my mysticdivinations.com website. That's mystic with a K, by the way.